We about to find out. Oh my! That's Austin Theory. Oh.
You know, you think that you're supposed to be excited after a reveal, right? After somebody's been walking around with a hood on and a mask on, you know, you're supposed to get a feeling, just a little bit, just a tad bit, just not a lot, just a little bit at least. You're supposed to feel something up there, you know, like the Rock over there getting goosebumps, man. You're supposed to feel it all in your soul, in your esophagus, baby. But we didn't feel anything from the masked man revealed on Monday Night Raw or Monday Night Board. Basically, we got nothing, man. We got absolutely nothing. What's good though, y'all? I'm gonna give y'all something, man, and that's my thoughts on this bullshit. Shout out to the gang. We spinning the block back around the game on what they still call the YouTube machine, and man, we ain't got no time to waste. Let's jump right on into it. We got the mystery reveal, the masked man mystery reveal at the end, and how lackluster it was. How underwhelming it was. We're gonna get to it. I'm pretty sure you all know who it was by now. So let's start this off with Gunther's promo. Man, let me tell y'all something, gang. Let me tell y'all something, Jack. Let me tell y'all something. This man was booed harder than a canceled pay-per-view. Like, seriously. This Gunther, he was booed. This man was booed harder than a girl on Jerry Springer with all her clothes on, man. Like, picture that. It was mega heat this dude was getting. I mean, damn. You would have thought you was in the building, bro. A lot of people tried to hate on the Innerwear Machine, talking about some, oh, Gunther's got piped in booze. Man, sit down, bro.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
They tried to say that same shit about dirty ass Dom. Look how dumb they ended up looking. So Gunther comes out. He gets massive heat from the win off of John Cena at Saturday night's lame event, right? He tapped him out. So yeah, man, we got Gunther kicking off things by celebrating the tap out to John Cena. He kept yelling, I made John Cena give up. And he made him tap. He made him tap, that's true. But then he was cooking my boy John. You know, your boy started to feel some type of way. I'm going to be honest. Your boy started to feel some type of way because I'm like, John Cena was the GOAT, man. I don't know. You getting there, Gunther. You're getting under my skin, man. Watch what you say about that boy John. Because the next thing that came out of that man's mouth was, yeah, I made him tap out like a little biatch. And I was like, oh, snap. He went there, bro. Gunther went there, bro. He said John Cena, he made John Cena tap out like a little biatch. And I was like, damn, why my boy had to get cooked that hard? Said it twice too. You know, just to really get under the fan's skin, you know. I think he was even, somebody caught Gunther on social media arguing with this kid. Love it, dude. Thing of beauty. Your boy Mass appreciated every second of this because Gunther is the man right now, y'all, whether we like it or not. No, he wasn't my first choice to actually beat John Cena and that alone retire John Cena. No, that was actually anywhere between a Carmelo Hayes and a Braun Breaker, but especially Braun Breaker because he was just crafted for that moment. But look, it's not my company. It is not my company. They gave it to Gunther. We got to trust them with Gunther. The good news is that we do got my man H cooking for Gunther. So he is his right hand man, right? He actually loves Gunther. So I have no doubts that out of all of the major slip-ups, the major fuck-ups in booking that Triple H has made this year, this one calendar year, I honestly believe, in my honest opinion, that he's not going to botch Gunther like that. I don't. Despite his losses to WrestleMania, I honestly don't think that moving forward, he can even afford losses like that in that manner. But let's continue. So yeah, I got faith that Gunther's going to be all right after beating John Cena. He's probably going to go next and retire AJ Styles. They were kind of alluding to that tonight after Gunther walked backstage. You know, he's like fucking with people, man. You know what I'm saying? He even ran across AJ Styles at the end, but we'll get to it. He's here. He's here to stay, y'all. He's here to stay. And if y'all don't like it, your boy Maverick going to have to bring out the tear bucket. I don't want to do it, but I will. If we got to bust out the tier bucket to get him the channel, we will do it. But let me tell you, he was ruthless, man. He was like a little kid who just learned a swear word or something for the first time. You know, even Adam Pearce called him an asshole. And that's basically WWE's PG-13 version of get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like, that's their version, right? And Gunther got booed so loud, he could have headlined a traffic jam, man. But wait. This is the only thing that threw me off. Adam Pearce is mad? But wait, Adam, you were the one that put him in the damn tournament. So, you put him in a tourney, my dude. So, I don't know, man. I just found it hilarious how even Adam Pearce had to break the fourth wall and go, this ugly motherfucker Gunther, man. But let's continue on, guys, to the next segment. CM Punk. Where do we start from here? CM Punk finally strolls his ass out like he's got stock in every mic company in the world. Rips into Braun Breaker like he's correcting the second gradest math homework, because that's how it felt watching this, and you'll see what I mean in a second. And basically calls him, I wrote it down, by the way. He basically called this man a cross-eyed Neanderthal Nepo baby for trashing his legacy. Damn, that's right. Yeah, man. Punk, he didn't just throw shade. He sculpted a fucking cottage industry out of it, bro. He wanted to throw more than shade. He wanted to throw the entire window at Braun Breaker, son. He's basically been gone for a couple of weeks, though. So he comes out, he takes the mic, tries to remind everybody who he is. Just like that one uncle at Thanksgiving, right? Who explains every conversation. Y'all know that uncle. We all got the uncle, man. That's trying to break down everything, no matter what's happening. And it's like, he won't shut up. He won't shut up. You got Auntie Sue over there, you know. He's trying to make a point, damn it. Listen, man, CM Punk cooked Braun Breaker with the promo here, man. So later on in the night, he would come to regret it with a spear. All right. And if you haven't seen that promo by Punk, I suggest you guys go on YouTube and watch it. I actually think it's worth a watch. So here's some quick matches that happened without having to dive into it deeply. The Usos actually beat the New Day. Surprise, surprise, everybody. The tag team division still exists. Hooray. Seen it a dozen times. Good match, but hey, should Jay turn heel on Jimmy already? Listen, you can fight me on that opinion all you want to, but we already seen the crash out. I think it's time to stop dicking around the heel turn tease and, you know, stop teasing the fans and just turn heel already. Win, lose, or draw, succeed or fail, at least you did it, okay? Just turn the guy heel. Jay has nowhere else to go. Tag team division is already cooked. There's nothing else left for him at this point. We don't care. Anyways, Maxine Dupree retained the women's IC strap, okay? Didn't even know that she was on. She's making improvements. She's actually believing in herself a little bit more in the ring. A little bit. This was a little bit sloppy between her and Ivy Nile. I'll be honest. Wasn't my favorite match. Wasn't the most clean. Wasn't the most, what can I say? Wasn't the most, fluent match. But I will say she tapped out in Ivy Isle and she's getting there. I like it, but it's nothing groundbreaking here still. As far as Stephanie Vac, oh man, I'm feeling bad for her booking, dude. She's starting to feel like every other woman on the roster, which was my biggest fear. Paul, where are you at with Stephanie Vac, man? Come on, she's your world champion for the women, dog. Get it together. Retained via DQ after Nikki Bella, old ass, got involved. Why are the legends still meddling around, bro? Nikki, get off TV. Get the hell off TV. You got more time to go date 22-year-olds than to even be on TV full time in the first place. So why don't you just go and do that? All right? Jesus, he's ruining my excitement for Stephanie Vac. And finally, guys, Logan Paul defeated Mysterio. He defeated Rey Mysterio. So, yeah, that happened. Nothing special. Nothing crazy about this Raw. I don't see anything that reflects a new era. I don't see anything groundbreaking like 3H has promised us. Nothing. Nothing too crazy until the finish, that is. When the Masked Man returns and reveals himself. That's when we get on chaos. So going to that part of the main event, y'all. Logan Paul versus Ray Ray. Nothing to really see here. It was supposed to be a solid grudge match, but you know that got tripped up quick when the mystery guy, the mystery geek, came and stumped Ray Ray right on the apron, allowing Logan Paul to hit the splash for the W. So CM Punk charged. He charged to the ring, you know, just trying to play hero before he could start another podcast, TED Talk speech on Braun Breaker. I was starting to tell myself, like, 2 promos in one night, Punk. We don't need that. But he got blindsided by a massive spear from Braun Breaker. Yep. So yeah, that same guy he insulted so hard earlier, insulted his family, disgraced his family, brutal. Hit the mat hard off of that spear. He was distracted by the mystery revealed, and here it is. Who was he distracted by, y'all? Was CM Punk distracted by I don't know, the fucking Pillsbury muffin guy? Was it him? Oh no. It had to be I know, Alexis Texas, the porn star. Oh yeah, was he distracted by that? Did he see some Tiggo bitties flopping in his face? Or did he see AJ Lee's Tiggo bitties flopping in his face? I don't know. AJ Lee's kind of small, you know, it's still his wife, but it's still a reason to get excited. I don't know. What distracted CM Punk, man? Was it the fucking Ghostbusters or anything like that? No, man. What distracted our Uncle Phil, our cousin Phil Brooks? It was none other than Austin Theory. That's right. The man who's been randomly aiding the vision and popping up like WWE jump scare was finally unmasked, only to reveal Austin weak-ass Theory. You know, when I first saw him, I was like, oh shit, Danny Garcia actually made the jump to WWE. Y'all, I couldn't believe it. Your boy Mask couldn't believe it, man. I was stunned. Like, did he go into the forbidden door? Did he walk into the forbidden door? But instantly I remembered to, clear my eyes up, wipe my eyes up, give me some clear eyes from the store, stop doing drugs, and sure enough, it was Austin Theory. Not Seth Rollins, not some NXT prodigy, not a returning legend from 1986. Oh, no. Not goddamn Timbuktu and the Wu-Tang Clan, which would have brought some semblance of excitement. No, Austin Theory. The guy you forgot was even in the company. He pops out the crowd, takes off the mask, and the crowd reacts with the enthusiasm of a guy being asked to reboot Internet Explorer or something like that. It was dead. You probably got a few golf claps here and there, you know, just out of respect for the guy. That was it. That's the big reveal, folks. Worst kept secret ever. Wow, Paul Levesque. Wow. What a huge shocker. Said nobody else. Fans pretty much saw it coming from the jump. This was reported months ago, and the payoff, lukewarm. Even the commentary booth sounded like they were waiting for someone better to show up, man. Like, damn, just Austin Theory, that's it? Just him? Damn. Awful reaction, man. Look, I would have preferred him getting booed rather than just no reaction, right? I mean, you would have got a bigger pop. You would have got a bigger pop opening up a bag of Doritos in a room full of people. Hell, you would have got a bigger pop, a louder pop, if somebody popped Austin Theory in the back of his dome piece with a right hand. I think that pop would have been louder than the one he actually got from the crowd, Jack. And thanks to Triple H, it is not even trying to excite the fans. He is not even trying to get the fans excited anymore, dog. He's telling everybody things months ahead. So what are my final thoughts on this, bro? Just as a whole, Punk's promo was spicy, but felt like he was yelling at a wall he kind of likes, right? Tried to bring back 2011 Punk, and he was cooking for a second. Gunther's heat fills it out like a soda left open overnight, bro. This man is cooking. Triple H, if you don't capitalize off of this heat, I don't know what we're doing. The Masked Man reveal sucked the whole energy out of the end of the show. Made it not even worth the fucking watch. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it down below. We gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Big deuces, big peace, and you already know what's next. We go.